So whenever we talk about working from home, we've got to put some boundaries on it about what we want. What's the criteria that we're looking for? So let's walk through that real quick. Well, first, we want to be able to work part-time. This is going to be a side hustle. It's not going to be our full-time job, at least not initially. So we're looking for something that we can do on the side to earn some extra money. And where are we going to do this? Well, ideally, we're going to do this working from home. Or, even better, we'll do it online working on a computer, either a laptop or a desktop. Because what that does is it opens up a whole new world of possibilities, right? So if you're working from a computer, that means you could take that laptop wherever you are. You could be at home or on vacation, anywhere in the world, as long as you've got internet access in your computer. Next, when you want to be able to do it, well, you want it to fit your particular schedule, right? So there can't be any specific criteria about doing this part-time job. You don't want to have to be there Monday through Friday, 8 to 5, or have a set schedule. It needs to fit into your schedule. When are you available? When do you have free time? And it may be that you don't have any free time during one week, but you may have lots of free time during the next week. And so we're looking for that ultimate flexibility so that this job, this side hustle can fit into your particular schedule. So what else is it going to require? So from a hardware, software, and application standpoint, what do you need to have? You need to have a computer with a web browser and access to the internet. So that's going to be our base requirement. Now, you don't have to necessarily own the computer or pay for the internet service. You can use publicly available systems, either from a cyber cafe or for free if you visit your public library. Most public libraries or schools, either junior college or college, have part of a community service program where they offer free computer time with access to the internet, available for anyone to use, general public. You just have to sign up. And normally they'll have a usage time restriction, so maybe you can only do it 1 hour at a time. But it is a free computer with a web browser, and it does give you access to the internet. So you really don't have to buy any equipment. So there's no hardware, no software or applications that are required for purchasing. So the next requirement for finding this work online or working from home is we don't want to have to pay any fees or memberships. There shouldn't be any additional costs. You shouldn't need to join anything. The goal here is to start off with a zero cost and be able to grow that. And so maybe later on, if you do want to join a program, a paid program, or a membership or something of that nature, you can do that. But for now, our goal is to find work that doesn't require payment of any kind. And then one last requirement deals with any special education or special skills that you would need to do this work. And our goal here again is there shouldn't be any special training that you need or any special skills required. The goal is to make it available to the general public with just some basic skills, right? So if you can operate a computer and a web browser and you can do some basic typing and things of that nature, that's really all that's required. So let's get into it and let's talk about what this is. So we're going to talk about something called a mock jury. So what's it all about? Well, let me give you a little bit of background. So when lawyers or attorneys prepare for a case, they're involved with lots of different activities, right? So they're researching, they're investigating, they're talking to their clients, they're conducting depositions of witnesses, they're looking for information, they're pulling together their case, and they're trying to build their case for their client so that they can help their client win their case. Now, as a part of those activities, one of the things that the lawyers do is they practice presenting their case. So just like if they're going to give a speech in front of an audience, they practice what they say. They practice what they say and the evidence that they're going to show to a jury. They want to make sure that it's all smooth, it's well rehearsed, it needs to be coordinated and presented in a logical fashion. And so it pays for the lawyer to do his or her homework, and construct a case so that it is logical and reasonable and presents the information to the jury so that they can understand it. And so what they want to do is to build their case, but before they actually go to the live trial, the real trial, they want to be able to present it to a mock jury. So as they build their case, and before they go to court and present it to the live jury, they want to practice and they want to present it to something called a mock jury. So this is a jury, but it's not a real jury. It's not the one in the court in front of a judge with all the lawyers present. It's like kind of a practice run for the lawyers. And the reason they do it is they want to get feedback from the jury. They want the jury to hear their case and then give them constructive feedback. Was the information correct? Was it complete? Was it presented in a logical order? What were the pieces they didn't understand? What were the pieces that were missing? So they're looking for the opinion of the jury as part of this rehearsal. And so this jury is going to be listening to these cases and giving feedback to the lawyer. Now, typically, a mock jury consists of a group of people, anywhere between, I've seen as few as 12, but normally it's a little bit larger group. They want to have a larger sample size. I've seen anywhere between 25 and 50 people is a typical size. And so what happens is the lawyer prepares his or her case, and they present it to the jury. Now, what they'll typically do, now it's not going to be like you see on TV where a lawyer stands in front of a group of people and presents this information. It's going to be a little bit simpler than that. Normally what the lawyer will do is write up some case papers and present that to the jury for their review. Now, it could be just paperwork, a couple pages of a document. It might also be a video or an audio podcast or something of that nature. So they'll pull together some information about their case and present it to the mock jury. And then the jurors will listen to this information, and at the end they're going to be able to share their opinion or their feeling or response about the case information that was presented to them. So if you're on a mock jury, what do you need to do? So what specifically does this job entail? You must be willing to read or listen to the information that the lawyer prepared and is presenting to you. Now, typically it could be anywhere between 50 and 60 minutes. It just varies on the complexity of the case, the amount of information. So there's no set time. It just depends on the amount of information. Now, initially, you have to remember you're a juror, and so your job is to listen to all the information. Don't have any preconceived notions. Don't be prejudiced. You need to keep an open mind and opinion as you're reading through or listening or watching the information presented to you. Now, at the end of the presented case, you can actually form an opinion at that point based on the information that you've heard or read or seen. And you're going to share your opinion with the lawyer. So you're going to give the lawyer some feedback based on what you feel about the case, the information that was presented to you. So how do you complete a case? Well, like I said, you either read through the briefing that's been prepared by the lawyer or listen to the audio or watch the video. And then upon completion of that, you're going to log into a website and you're going to answer some questions. So they're going to ask you questions about the case and the information that you just saw. Was it complete? Was it in a logical order? Was there information that was missing? Could the information have been presented in a different order? Right? So there's going to be a questionnaire that you fill out, and it's going to, you're going to answer it according to how you feel, your opinion, and share your knowledge and your opinion about the case. Now, there's no right or wrong answer, so you don't need to worry about that. It's just, what do you feel about the case, and what do you feel about the information that was provided to you? And then the real bottom line is, how much can you earn? And again, this is going to vary depending on the length and complexity of the case. But typically, you can earn anywhere between $50 and $60 for the work that you perform in a case. So, if a case is 60 minutes long, typically you're going to get paid more because there's more time involved versus a 15-minute case where you spend less time. It's more than likely less complex, less artifacts, less evidence to go through. And so you're going to earn less money. So I've seen payments as low as $5. I've seen payments as high as $60. And typically I've never seen a case, or I've never reviewed a case myself that's gone over 60 minutes. So that works out to, the best case scenario is $60 an hour. So where do you sign up to become a juror and a participant in a mock jury? Well, I've got 3 places, and let me show you real quick. First one is ejury.com. Now, they have cases that I've seen typically range between 15 and 30 minutes a time, and they pay anywhere between $5 and $10. Next is a site called Online Verdict. They have some longer cases, what I've noticed. So the cases could be as long as 60 minutes, But there again, because you are spending more time, the payment tends to be higher. So it's anywhere between $20 and $60. And then this last site that I'm going to share with you is called Virtual Jury, virtualjury.com. And their cases are anywhere between 30 and 60 minutes, and their payments are commensurate with the time that you spend reviewing the information. Now, these aren't the only mock jury services. There are others. I just want to present to you some examples. Feel free to go and do a search online for other mock jury service organizations and read through the information that they provide about the role and the reimbursement, how to sign up, registration for the sites. So when you sign up, it should be completely free. If you ever come across a mock jury site where they want you to pay money, you can leave that site immediately. You should never have to pay. And when you sign up, be honest about who you are. So they're going to ask you questions about your demographic. How old are you, male or female? Which area of the country do you live in? Because as the lawyers are constructing these mock juries, they're going to be looking for a certain demographic, right? They're going to want younger people, older people, male, female, different education levels, different social economic backgrounds. And so just be honest about who you are. And based on the information that you supply, you'll be handed cases or offered cases that reflect the requirements of the lawyers that are looking for these juries. So what are your next steps? Well, first thing to do is you need to register to become a mock juror. Now, it's completely free, as I mentioned, and it only takes a few minutes. Then next, I want you to perform the strategy that I've shared with you in this video, okay? So step number one, you got to join the mock jury service organization. Step two is check the case opportunities. See which ones are out there, which ones appeal to you. You know, whether the case is interesting or the time frame meets when you're available, right? So here again, you get to pick and choose which ones because it needs to meet with your schedule. But you also want to be cognizant of, you know, maybe you're looking at a case and it fits when you're available, but it may have a requirement where they need it turned around within the next 24 to 48 hours. So will you be able to do that as well? So it's a give and take, right? So find cases that you like, that are appealing, that meet your time schedule, but also that you can meet their time schedule, right? So they're paying you to be a juror. You want to be able to give them good service, give them your opinion, but in a timely fashion. And then lastly, as you pick your cases, make sure you review all the case material, keep an open mind about it. At the end, when you've seen all the information and evidence, then you can form and formulate an opinion and render that opinion by answering the questions in the questionnaire. So you're going to log into their website, given the case number that you're working on, and you'll just have to answer a questionnaire. You don't need to talk to anyone. You can do this completely online. Work from home. You can work from anywhere where you've got a computer access and internet access as well. Hey, thanks for watching. We really appreciate it. And if you can, take a moment to leave a comment below. Tell us what you liked about this video or tell us what you didn't like. And if you don't want to do that, let us know what you'd like to see in the future. Make a plan, take action on that plan, and start living your dream.